want me
His
to carry
mother
on, or
was a Persian
is
princess.
this enough, or?
Tell him who his mother was.
Henry's mother.
She wasn't a little on the dark skin side, was she?
I found it even in Google Books who his mother was. It's in Google Books.
Henry O'Donnell's
I
mother,
kept it separate.
as I said, was an Indian mistress to his father, Henry Anderson O'Donnell. And Henry Anderson O'Donnell probably met her about, I would say, 120 miles northwest of Calcutta in Lucknow, which was a military post at that time. Her name is mentioned in Henry Anderson O'Donnell's will. The name, however, is very hard to decipher because of the handwriting. From what I understand, her first name is Noor. Can be spelled as N-U-R or N-W-R. Noor refers to light. Her last name, as far as I can decipher, is Brath. B-R-A-T-H. You got to remember, though, the will was written by an Irishman. And the will was written going by probably a phonetic, as they heard it, pronunciation of her name. It could easily be Barath, B-A-R-A-T-H. Barath is a small town in India. It's not even on the map. It could easily be a mistress with the first name Noor from that little town Barath. I have no information whatsoever on her. I cannot find her. That's all I know. Whatever is in that will, that's all I know. I know a lot about the history of the Bibbies, the culture of Bibbies, but not of her specifically. But she was an Indian mistress.
I've seen in Google Books where they say she was a Persian princess. I've seen it in books.
Yeah. Well,
I've seen it in books, but I don't know for 100%, but I've read that.
Noor Brath cannot be. This is a very valid question I hear here. Henry Anderson O'Donnell, after he had Henry and after he had that relationship with his mistress, he married an Indian, a Persian princess.
Ah, yes.
Domina Jan. I cannot find nothing on her either. However, she was of Persian nobility. She was a princess.
So that wasn't his mother then?
No.
It was
no.
a later wife.
Yeah, it was a later.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see now. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This
Now,
is good.
Henry Anderson O'Donnell had a son to this Persian princess. His name is Charles Rutledge O'Donnell.
Sir Charles Rutledge, yes.
Sir Charles Rutledge O'Donnell would be the one who eventually would inherit whatever was left of the O'Donnell estates in County Clare.
Yes.
He himself, however, lived in England.
Yes.
Only in the latter part of his life he returned to County Clare, and he tried to make friends with his Catholic Irish tenants of the O'Donnell estates, which did not work out too well because Charles Rutledge O'Donnell was a Protestant and he was a landowner, and Irish Catholics were not too happy with Protestant landowners. He tried, though. Charles tried, but to no avail. Charles Rutledge O'Donnell went back to England, where he died of spinal paralysis.
Oh, maybe meningitis.
Go ahead.
Okay, for the O'Donnell, is there like anything left of the will? Do you have proof that?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him over.
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah. I'm not making it up. I wouldn't even be able to make it up. It's too complicated.
It is.
Now the Irish estates of the O'Donnell was already sold off during Henry Anderson O'Donnell's life, bits and pieces.
Yes.
Charles Rutledge O'Donnell, he managed whatever was left, and he passed it on to his son, Charles Vyse O'Donnell. However, the estates were deep in debt, and Charles Vyse O'Donnell, who died eventually in 1919, didn't even want to go back to Limerick because he was afraid of the debtors. So there was nothing left of the O'Donnell estates in Ireland. The American estates that grew under the hands of Columbus, John the Merchant, John O'Donnell the Merchant, most of that was put into stocks, was bought and sold. Many people own it now. Most of the wealth of the O'Donnells, however, was taken to New York by the Easelin family. The Easelin family also run a lot of coal mines in Pennsylvania, mostly in Pittsburgh. The last, from what I heard a couple of weeks ago, the last 3,000 acres of the O'Donnell property, originally owned by John the Merchant, was sold off. Not the last generation, but the generation before that, to support the ex-wife of one of the brothers of the O'Donnells in that generation. So there are no estates left in and around Baltimore anymore.
There is
it up for now, I think.
There is a statue of Captain John in Baltimore. If any, we've seen it. I've taken my family to see it. It's pretty cool. I have pictures of it on my camera if anyone wants to see it. Yeah, I will. But if Hans is finished, I'm going to turn my recorder off. Thank you, Hans.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Very nice. Very nice presentation.
Anybody, any questions? Any questions?
I have a question. How